evening, everybody. It is Sunday. It is 7:01 Pacific Standard Time. We are in the War Room. We are on episode 8. And we're getting close to being done with our segment. And then what we are going to do for seasons 2, 3, 4, whatever, is we are going to... War Room's only going to be 10 episodes per season. It's only going to be Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Then, starting season 2, we are going to bring in other paranormal investigators to give their opinions, their tips, and their tricks. Because this is a learning show for everybody. So instead of just listening to two guys, we're going to have a lot of people on. They're going to have a half hour. They're going to be able to discuss what they want to discuss and give you, the viewer, tips and tricks from a lot of different people. Because that is the only way we learn. That is the only way we get better.
Absolutely.
All right, so tonight we were going to do wrapping up the investigation, but a question was brought up to me that we're going to do wrap up next Sunday. So next Sunday will be wrap up, evidence review, and then episode 10 will be final thoughts, interactions with customers, that kind of stuff. That'll be the wrap up. And episode 1, season 2, we have to figure it out, but I know we're going to have Ghostoria on for one of these.
Nice.
And then they are going to give us their tips and tricks and everything on how to do things. Because, again, right now, the first 10, you're listening to us, our opinions. These are our opinions only. We learn from everybody else, just as some people have learned from us. It is, you have to be a teacher, and you have to be a student. That, as my mentor once said.
Gee, you're my mentor.
I'm so special. Oh yeah, top of the hour. Our documentary is out.
Yes. Is in order.
So the movie is out, Amazon, YouTube. It's a rental. So if we can rent enough items and make this movie a blow up, and it gets a lot of attention, then I know that they were talking about when they were here eons ago videotaping, that they said if the movie did good enough, they wouldn't mind doing a follow-up, Return to the Spirit of Halloween Town, I believe it was the working title at the time, because we need to get the king in more footage.
Hey, you know what? I'm okay. I got there a little bit. My little 2 seconds.
2 seconds of fame.
That's it, man. But hey, hats off to you and everyone else. Did a great job. Yeah. So yeah, get over there, check it out. It's $3.99 to rent, or if you want to buy it, it's $8.99. I know we bought it, and I know you bought it.
Yeah, I bought it. Yeah, my brother was actually watching it at the moment it came out. I was at work, and he's sending me pictures of, hey, here's you on my TV screen. And I'm like, wait a minute, the movie doesn't come out till midnight. That's kind of odd.
Midnight East time.
Apparently midnight East time. So tonight we are talking about button would work.
Ooh, safety
within paranormal. We're going to cover a lot of different things because this was a question that had come up actually on one of our tours.
Really?
Yes. I do believe you were talking to one of your team members.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that night.
Yeah, it was that night, and then somebody had asked me a couple questions on the sidelines. Oh, okay. So this next half hour is going to be all down to safety within the paranormal.
Which is a good subject to cover too. I mean,
it is a great subject. I've got a bunch of stuff here on my desk that we can kind of go over. Nice. I know we said when you're episode 2 is when you're packing and getting your stuff together. Flashlights, radios. We're going to go more in depth into that one. Technically, show number 2 should have been safety within the paranormal. You are going to be in dark areas.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that I find is I've got the little helmet cam. Safety? Did I spell it wrong? I probably did. I don't know. It's been a long weekend. We've been tromping through the woods. So if it's spelled wrong, we're going to glaze over that one.
Of course, Big Josh there, he's got to have his 2 cents in. Next show, buddy. This is not just kidding. Good to have you on, Josh.
All right. So the helmet camera that normally goes on to the bill of my baseball cap, it actually has lights on it. So you can be recording with this thing, which is always good for your point of view, and it has lights. That way, if you're going up a dark staircase that's a little rickety, like, I don't know, Klondike, you're not having to like fumble with things. You know, it's there, it's on your hat. You've got light.
Yeah, it's one less thing you have to carry.
It's one less thing that you have to carry. But if you always carry 2 of everything. So always carry a flashlight on you.
Mm-hmm.
I know on my vest, if you watch the movie, I have added to the vest. I do have a clip-on light that I can just turn on and it just shines out bright. I also have an extra flashlight attached to my vest. Just in case one light goes out, I have a secondary light. We do not want to be trapped somewhere in the dark in a precarious location. I will say this one because I made that mistake years ago. I was up in a catwalk above an auditorium, and I only had one light, and somebody turned off the main lights in the entire auditorium and decided they were going to just lock up because they didn't see anyone down in the actual area. So I'm up in the catwalks, had not checked the flashlight, so that would be
mistake number 1.
Mistake number. Wow, I was green. I was very, very green on this one. Flashlight batteries. Flashlight's in my pocket. Somebody turns off the house lights. It gets very, very dark, and I'm up on a catwalk. I am scared to death of heights.
Yep.
I go to turn on my flashlight. There's nothing going on. I ended up crawling the rest of the way down the catwalks onto the scaffolding, and then I was basically like, okay, I'm not going to be able to find my way over to the ladder because I've only got 3 feet of space to move with. And if I go too far over, I'm going to fall on the stage. Luckily for me, the janitors were coming through and they were going to sweep out everything. Well, when I heard the door open, I started yelling, screaming, and then I ended up throwing the giant ring of keys and rattling it like I was summoning the dead. And they turned on all the house lights, and I slid off of the ladder as quickly as possible and was like, okay, I'm done. And it was a learning lesson. Redundancy, redundancy, redundancy. Carry 2 of everything. Make sure you have backups to a backup. You don't want to get stuck, especially if you're doing paranormal stuff. If you're doing ghosts, you're going to want it to be dark.
Mm-hmm.
Again, we'll use the Klondike as a prime example.
Absolutely.
And if you watch the movie, there's a part with our thing where you can see they show the floor going from 3 to 2, and it's just a giant hole.
Absolutely.
So you always want more than enough. Double check your batteries day of. Make sure you got flashlights. This flashlight is actually a red light, so it doesn't mess up your night vision. So if somehow, some way you're walking through and you're sitting in a dark room, you need to turn on a light, your night vision is not going to get messed up with the red light. This was actually a tip from a coworker who was a pilot in Vietnam. He always carried the red lights with him when we were working together on the airplanes. Because he said,
Nice.
yeah, I don't want my night vision screwed up if I'm just checking basics. So
Yeah.
that is a good thing to work with.
Yeah, and I've also switched over to the red flashlight as well.
Yeah, plus it just kind of lights up everything in a spooky, eerie type of thing.
Right.
Okay, so then besides lights, have a safety kit, a med kit on you handy. You can get them at Walmart, Fred Meyer's. Make sure you have the basics, bandages, uh, antacids, uh, aspirin, Tylenol, Advil.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean, if you're walking through a haunted location, again using the Klondike as a prime example.
That Klondike is good example for anything and everything we're going to talk about. So
Yeah, yeah. So just picture the Klondike. If you watch the movie, you will full on understand
understand.
those top two floors can be a death trap if you're not paying attention. The wood is rotten in a lot of rooms. You know, you'll have a room on the third floor that basically is a skylight for the second floor. Um, Nails, boards. I mean, a lot of things that they pulled off the walls. Maybe there's a nail on there. You just want to keep your head on a swivel. When you're doing your primary walk around, that would probably be where lights are on and you want to start locating it and noting it everything of, okay, this room, giant hole in the floor, use a lantern when you're up here. Use a light, use a lantern, use what you got to do. This area is bad, that's area bad.
Yeah, and I've done on a one or two cases where if I know that there's something like a hole or something like that, I've used like tape, like construction tape, or even tape that you use for painting. Like the
Yeah.
just kind of mark that area or any area that you deem might be hazardous or dangerous, whatever. And then when lights go out, if you should have your flashlights and all that, you see that, you'll know, hey, don't go there, or there's this going on there.
Yeah, what I kind of want to look into is seeing if they've got glow in the dark type of tape that's not going to damage any surfaces.
Right.
Because then if we got really creative, you can just lay that down in front of that room or something, light it up really good, and that way when you're coming through, just kind
Oh.
of wandering blindly in the dark,
Hmm.
that glow in the dark strip will just light up.
Yeah, maybe it could catch a spirit walking over that, huh?
Possibly, I mean, it could work.
Just all in theory.
It's all a theory at this point.
Yeah,
That moves along to communications.
absolutely.
Always, 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 always. If you're working in a group, have you can have radios, phones. You kind of tend to want to turn them off onto airplane mode
Right.
um, if you're working. Now, if you're doing this on your own,
Which I recommend you don't do.
even if you're just a single person and you're just going to a graveyard to do something, I would have this phone on you in case you tripped and fell. You want to make sure that you've got a way to contact somebody else on the outside world. You want to make sure you've notified somebody that I'm going to this location by myself.
I should be
Um,
back by such time. Yeah.
exactly. Doc could learn how to spell. I think we'd all be better. That's just staring at me.
It's gonna bug you for the half hour, isn't it?
We're just taking it off. There we go. We'll just take it off. We'll deal with it later. Um, so okay, use your phone. You can use, this is a Retrievus 888 radio. You get them on Amazon.
Yeah.
Um, you can even go to Walmart and get like a double pack, 4 pack. You can get them at Walmart. I think Fred Meyer's has them in like the sporting goods. They're not going to have like the 5 mile range, but if you're in a building with a couple people, they come in handy.
Absolutely.
That way, say you're on the third floor of the Klondike and they don't want 6, 7 people upstairs, but they'll let 2 people up, so at least one person will have a radio and everybody else will be on a different floor. That way you can communicate back and forth saying, okay, we're up on the third floor, this is what's going on, this is what we're seeing.
Yeah.
So and so just fell through the roof and he's on the second floor now. We're going to need some help. I mean, you can start radioing down, and communications are always a must for this job. I'm going to bring this up because these are beautiful. Now, we talked about these bad boys on another episode.
Yeah.
It does have a CB attachment. You can either do push to talk on these things, or you can just have it voice activated. Love the headset radio. These are beautiful because of the fact that it's there, it's amplifying. All you got to do is reach up. So, like these guys, if it's in your pocket and you don't have an extension, like I normally do on my vest, speak of the product. I will speak of the product. If you can't get to this,
have one of these
this
headsets.
is on your head. So this is the Walker's Razor headsets. They're primarily used for shooters. The CB attachment is separate, but you can buy it. It just hooks in there, and then your microphone just slides up and down, gets out of the way if you need it. You can hear everybody else that has one of these, amplifying all the sound. If Walker's wants to sponsor us, we'll do a more in-depth review of that.
Right.
But no, we have been living and dying by these things in the woods.
Lately, definitely, yeah.
They're just wonderful. If they got a decent range, as long as one of us is paying attention when the other person's talking.
But when we're out in the woods, we're paying attention to something else.
Yeah. For example, James and Josh were off to one side. They had theirs on voice, the box. I had mine on push to talk. I was talking to a new a student, we'll call him. He wanted to know how to do this stuff, so I was answering his questions and had the headphones on, and I thought that they were talking to each other, and I didn't notice that they were saying my name and they were trying to talk to me. And it's like, yeah, okay, we've got radios and voice operation going on, and
somebody just wasn't paying attention.
Somebody was not paying attention, answering too many questions that needed to be dumb, and the questions are not a dumb thing.
No.
Now then, for the last 10 minutes, this question came up, and this is why we're driving this baby home. What do you do to protect yourself from demonic spirits? I've got a few products right here on the desk that we're going to look at.
You do.
I do, and I like to carry some of these on my vest. And then I'll pass these things out if we happen to get into that situation. Some of the things you can get, the St. Benedict's cross medallion. You can get those babies. Holy water.
Yeah, I need to get me a new medallion. I think, was it you that gave me one, or was it?
Yeah.
See,
this
I don't. Yeah,
this
I don't
was
know
a
what
bag of
happened to
30. This was a bag of 30, and I started passing them out.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to it. It just like all of a sudden vanished. Like, really?
Yeah, when I lived at the old place, I had these things jammed in every single doorway. I think they're still jammed in all the doorways.
Man, that's a good thing.
Well, when you have a haunted doll, you want to make sure it stays where it's supposed to stay and not be following you around the damn house.
Right.
Because we have yet to build the containment for it Holy water, basically go to a Catholic church. They should have a little water vessel in somewhere in the front of the church there. Um, Medallions you can find on Amazon. Another thing you want, your rosary. You can always get a rosary and then take it when you're at the Catholic church, get in the water. You can have them bless the rosary for you. I am not Catholic, but I do pack a rosary with me everywhere I go on an investigation.
I never knew that about you there. I didn't know you carried that.
Yeah, I carry it. It's in my vest.
Mm.
I have a little pocket in my vest. I've got a rosary. I got holy water. I got black salt.
Yeah, I got some black salt.
I also have some salt, just straight up salt that's been blessed. And that's all just carried in an inside pocket in the vest. So if things start going down, I'm just grabbing things, and
Yeah.
because you never know. I mean, uh, Josh says, okay, you and I are ordained. Can we bless the water? That is an interesting thing that I've been looking up how to do that. There's like some rites you got to say over the water and bless it with. You got to bless an item. So like the cross, the rosary, you would have to, go over the water as an ordained minister and recite all the stuff, and then cross it. And you're basically taking pure salt, and then you're putting it into some water, and then you're saying a couple passages, and then in theory, it's supposed to be holy water when you're done. So, yes, Josh, because you and I are ordained. If I knew where that book was, by the way, I do have a book of exorcisms and other things in one of my bags of paranormal. Um, then yes, they say if you're ordained, then you should be able to do that on your own, and that way you got what you need. Um, I know after the Columbia Heights School, um, the spirits were messing with James, and we had to go outside, and I basically just kind of hit him with the holy water. And,
Yeah, that one wasn't too fun.
yeah, holy oil. I don't have any holy oil. Our I'm going to bring it up, and James is going to hate me for it, but there was a certain house we went to where the priest,
Go ahead. The
the,
Tiger Demon House.
the
I'll
Tiger
sit.
Demon house, where the minister on duty that was taking care of everything actually had the holy water. He had the oil, the holy oil, black salt, and I don't think he actually like salted the doorways and the windows, but he did bless all the doorways with the oil and the holy water, and then bless the two people with the same deal. So
Yeah. I got let's see, what do I have? I got the black salt, and then I have a bunch of protection crystals, all different types. So that's all I've got on me at the moment.
well, I know we have other forms of protection uh, that are loud and obnoxious. I don't think our form of protection would take down a dog man or a Bigfoot, but it'll make a lot of noise.
Absolutely, they would. But
I
those,
think that might be all that matters is making a lot of noise enough for someone to get around.
yeah,
Josh Logan says, "I got you two."
you got nothing. Oh, but yeah, I mean those we wouldn't necessarily take those on a ghost investigation.
No. Well, I don't know, man. It depends on what ghost case it is, man.
To be like a little supernatural, get those bullets and the Winchester gun and all that good stuff.
Well, I mean, technically speaking, if we got silver and melted it down and dipped it into the center of a hollow point,
Mm-hmm.
thus making silver bullets, then I don't know. It might work. I might just be talking out my butthole here.
Wow.
But there are different ways to make sure you are protected: flashlights, radio comms, medical kits, religious items. It doesn't always have to be a Catholic type of thing. I also wear a Mjolnir, Norse paganism. I wear that around my neck underneath everything. Um, prayer helps.
Yeah.
Um, hopefully,
That
we don't need a lot of this stuff where you're having to salt out different areas.
Josh says good teammates.
Is that what we need or what we have?
Hmm. I think you need them, and we have them. So hey,
Yes, we do.
we got the ones that count anyway. How's that?
That we do. Just giving a little shout out to Mr. Josh Logan. One hell of a investigator. I'm glad he's out.
Yeah.
He's able to come out and help us out with things because we got some bigger events coming up. And by the way, Josh, if they ever come back to film Return to the Spirit of Halloween Town, you're getting in on this one, and then you guys are sticking right by my side because
You don't want all the glory?
I love sharing the spotlight. I really do. It's like, please, somebody else have a little scene. Um,
Well, yeah, if they wouldn't have cut out some of that stuff, I would have been in there more.
well,
But
they cut out a lot of good stuff.
yeah,
Um, I think they cut out everything from Knob Hill except for the beginning portion.
yeah.
Um, yeah, I guess we can use the last couple minutes and talk about the ending to Spirit of Halloween Town.
Yeah, I'll be interested when and if you get a hold of them and talk to them about that orb. If
Yeah,
it's
so
yeah,
everybody's assignment is to go and rent the Spirit of Halloween Town documentary. Wait until the very, very end. It's not a Marvel movie so much where there's more stuff way at the end. Um, but the very last shot, we don't know if that's a. It doesn't give anything away, but
no, it
there's an
doesn't.
orb that comes from behind the camera, which is a stationary static cam. It comes out and it does a slow float through the room, which is 320 in the movie. Don't hold me against it. I was nervous. I called it 308 way too many times. It's 320 that it's in.
Yeah,
That was my bad. I was nervous. I got a lot better since 2022 with this stuff.
but
Um,
yeah,
but this orb goes from behind the camera, and it's bright, and it's doing this slow.
and then it fades
It goes
out the door.
out
Yeah.
the door, across the hall, and then just fades out of the distance. So
That makes you want to know about that room across the hall.
yes, it does.
Honestly,
If we ever get back in there, we've got to check. I think that would be if that was 320. I think that was 319.
I was gonna say maybe 319.
Yeah, I think it was 319 because the evens are on one side and the odds were on the other.
Yeah.
So I think it was probably 319. So what happened in 319?
Now the mind's gonna wander. The research begins.
Oh, it does, but we need to get back in there and set up some stuff and
Yeah.
occupy. But that is our half hour, so we're going to go ahead and get out of here. We got a reset for Unleashed. We're talking about the Smurl poltergeist in a half hour. Hope you
And
all come back.
that's when the show really gets fun.
That's when we get fun. And like I said, we got two more of this, and then we're going to start bringing on other people to give their 2 cents on everything. So you will learn from us and other people in the field, and it should be educational. So you'll get multiple views on everything. So until then, good night, everybody.
Good night.